Once upon a time, a sage was taking a morning stroll with his disciples by the banks of the Ganges, chanting holy names. In the distance, they noticed a couple arguing loudly. The man's wife had lost her gold necklace while bathing in the river, and her husband, in a fit of rage, hurled insults at her. She, equally angry, shouted back. The sage paused, watching the scene unfold, and turned to his disciples with a question. Why do people shout in anger? One disciple responded, because when we lose our calm, we shout. True, the sage replied, but why shout when the other person is right next to you? Does raising your voice make them hear you better? The disciples offered various answers, but none seemed satisfactory. Finally, the sage explained, when two people are angry, their hearts grow distant. Anger creates a gap between them, and they shout to cover that emotional distance. The louder they shout, the further apart they become. Anger pushes them away from each other, and in their desperation to be heard, they raise their voices. He continued, but when two people are in love, they speak softly, almost in whispers. Their hearts are close, and there is no need to shout. As their love deepens, they exchange even fewer words, sometimes none at all. A simple look or a touch speaks volumes. In love, silence becomes more powerful than words because their connection is so strong. The sage then looked at his disciples and said, so, when you find yourself in an argument, be mindful of your words. Don't let anger create a distance between you and the ones you care about. Speak with love and understanding, and you'll find that the need to shout disappears. One of the disciples asked, but why do I feel so angry all the time? How can I stop myself from boiling over? The sage replied, anger often arises from unmet expectations. When things don't go as we wish, frustration builds, and that frustration can lead to anger. But remember, when you get angry, you lose your sense of judgment. Your words can cause damage that may heal, but the scars remain. He added, think of anger as a boiling pot of water. If you keep heating it, it will eventually evaporate, leaving nothing but steam. You hold the regulator in your hand. The other person may add fuel to the fire, but it's up to you to control the heat. You can choose to simmer or boil over. Acceptance is the key to peace, the sage concluded. It may be difficult, and sometimes even feel impossible, but it's the only way to keep your inner calm. When you accept others as they are, without judgment, you remain at peace with yourself, and in that peace, the need to shout in anger fades away. The disciples nodded, absorbing the wisdom of the sage's words. They realized that anger was not the opposite of love, but rather the flip side of acceptance. By learning to accept and understand others, they could keep their hearts close and their voices gentle, no matter the challenges they faced.